Hey everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of The Real Housewives of New Jersey, Season 12, Episode 11, Nightmare in NashVegas. A little foreshadowing there. We open this episode at Teresa's house. It is moving day, which is always a bit chaotic, even if you're very organized. But this house doesn't even look close to being ready. Teresa's like, Adriana, do you want these LED lights? What? Where did you pull those out of? That question should have been asked a month ago, right before the garage sale that you planned 2 months ago. You're just like sifting through random things right now? The movers are here. Anyway, Teresa seems to be more frenetic than usual. She's running around. Oh my God, Melania is still sleeping. Side note, where? Where is she sleeping? The movers are there. I had to be up an hour before the movers got there so that I could wrap my mattress in plastic and break down my bed frame. I mean, moving nearly killed me, physically and mentally. So I just love how it's sort of this afterthought for Teresa and the girls. Oh yeah, today's moving day. Let's put a few things in our car and then go to the new place. I am so jealous, you guys. Anyway, Teresa's like, Melania is still sleeping. Pookie, wake up, wake up. Gia, Mom, why are you screaming? Okay, now we have some quick check-ins with the other ladies. Evan asks their daughter to help him clean the grill. She's like, I'll give you 30 seconds. So she goes out there, takes the brush, does one swipe and said, I'm done. I'm going to go help Mom now. Evan's like, that wasn't 30 seconds. At Jennifer, she's trying to get the kids to help clean their room. At Dolores' house, Frank shows up with all his suitcases because he is now moving back into the house with the kids. Gabby had made up Frank's room for him. So she's like, oh, let me show you to your room. And he walks in and he goes, what's that? And she goes, oh, that's Chinchi. There's a chinchilla in the corner. I love that Frank has to share a room with a chinchilla. So Dolores tells Frank about the Nashville trip. I guess Tracy has a friend who's a realtor there, and she hooks them up with this gorgeous house, and everyone is staying in the house. Everyone. What could go wrong? Okay, back at Teresa's house. In her defense, I guess the buyers of her house wanted to also buy some of the furniture. So like the piano is staying and the dining room table and chairs are staying, stuff like that. So it does explain some of what's going on, but not all of it. Like, answer me this, Teresa, why haven't you even taken the sheets off your bed? And for those of you who say, she's hiring people to pack for her too. Yeah, I know, I get it. But like, you really couldn't even take your clothes out of the drawers and... It's fine. I'm going to stop complaining about it now. Gia's thinking about how weird it's going to be that that's not their home anymore. And at this point, I am begging Bravo not to show another sad montage because I feel like I can't take it. Nope, grab the tissues. Bravo's at it again. Listen, Bravo was filming when they moved into that house, so I get that there's like a lot of footage to pull from, but it's like, it's heart-wrenching. Oh, well, okay, I guess everything's all packed. The trucks have taken off to go to her new house, and the girls and Teresa are standing in a semi-empty home. And after one final goodbye, Teresa turns and shuts the lights and closes those demonic doors. The ones with the wings and the bumps. We may have seen them for the last time, guys. Let's hope there's a lot of flashbacks with the doors in them. So they take a couple cars over. Gia is driving her car with Gabriella and Adriana in it. And Melania is in the car with Teresa. I assume they're going to the house now to unpack everything that just got packed. But, what do I know? They're probably going to a spa for mani-pedis. And I know I said I would stop being bitter, but I guess I'm not done. Because Teresa has the nerve to say to Melania, what was the hardest thing for you with the packing? Because for me, it was my closet. Yeah, you know why? Because the closet was the only thing you packed. And not even all of the closet. At least Melania had the decency to say, I only packed my room. Thank you. Okay, so they're pulling up to the new home, and it's ginormous, of course. I mean, honestly, it kind of reminds me of the home they just moved out of, although to be fair, I haven't seen the front doors yet. Oh, okay. No, very different front doors. Very different, vibe going on with these doors. So Louis and his son are already there. This is his younger son who's 17. He's going to be living there with Louis and Teresa and the girls. And his older son is living with his mother. This son that's living with them is also named Louis, so I feel like that's going to be a little confusing. Louis! When you hear that booming through the house. Side note, is this a meditation room? Because did it come with that statue? Oh, no, I bet that's Louis. That smacks of Louis, doesn't it? His whole new agey vibe. That'll be fun. Anyway, Louis Jr. seems really nice, super polite. He gets along with the girls well, maybe even too well. We'll see. He's a cute boy, maybe a match for Melania, maybe a double wedding. Side note, look at these refrigerator doors. Holy hell. They're mirrored. I would have walked into that kitchen and thought there was no refrigerator. Okay, so we get the tour, and each bedroom is more spectacular than the one before it. Each one of the girls has not only their own room, but like their own ensuite bath, and Melania's got this whole like vanity set up. It's pretty gorgeous. Then Louis says, can I show you something, Teresa? I have a surprise for you. And they go out in the yard where this isn't the surprise, thank God, but there's a whole meditation area out there. Anyway, the surprise is that he had like a paver stone engraved with Sempre Insieme, which is that phrase that, what does it mean? Together forever or something like that. Like Gia had said it when she was giving that little speech when they had that party. Was it last year where they were honoring Nona and Nono? And then she said Sempre Insieme. And she and Teresa both have that I was going to say engraved on them, tattooed on them. So I think it was actually a nice idea. I mean, it was thoughtful. I'll say this again. I think that Louis is wrapped in a giant red flag, but for as long as this period lasts, maybe things will change when they get married. And for Teresa's sake, I truly hope not. But he's doing some things right. Okay, now we get a packing montage for the Nashville trip. We're at Melissa and Joe's house. Melissa, of course, packing cowboy boots. You know how these housewives love to dress in the most stereotypical garb of whatever city or country they're going to. So Joe's like, oh, what, like a country outfit? What is it? Melissa, I don't know. It's like Nashville. Isn't it like out west or something? Well, I guess it's west of New Jersey. At Jennifer's house, she's like pairing something with her Chanel belt. And Bill goes, maybe not Chanel, but maybe something more authentic? And Jennifer goes, what's more authentic than Chanel? Over at Teresa and Louie's house, she's got like 11 cowboy hats, and she wants to bring them all. At Jackie and Evan's, Jackie's putting a belt buckle the size of a dinner plate onto Evan's belt, and everybody is discussing the issue between Margaret and Teresa. Margaret says she's not going to let Teresa treat her like it. Dolores hopes everybody will get along. Dolores and Frank both agree that Margaret and Teresa are both going to have to compromise in order for that to happen. Teresa tells Louis yet again that she has a bad taste in her mouth. Did she just learn that phrase? I feel like when she learns something new, she tries to work it in every conversation a little bit. Anyway, her new phrase is, I have a bad taste in my mouth. I mean, I could probably make a cheap joke right here about her not liking the taste of milk bones or something, but I am not going to do that. I am above that. Maybe it's rawhide. Maybe it's one of those dried pig ears. Have you ever seen those in Petco? Anyway, she tells Louis that Margaret's intentions aren't good. Holy hell. Side note, guys, are every one of her 27 cowboy hats bedazzled? Yikes. So Louis says that, oh yeah, he totally sees that Margaret's intentions aren't good. Jackie tells Evan, Margaret is my best friend. But with Teresa, like, maybe if I step in and defend her, it starts this chain reaction that affects my eating habits. Melissa wants Margaret and Teresa to be good. Joe's like, I don't know about that. Melissa goes, Teresa never gets along with my friends, and it puts me in a bad spot. Side note, yes, have you ever thought about that, Melissa? She is predisposed to hate anyone that you have brought onto this show. And that was Jackie. You were Jackie's friend. It's Tracy. You and Joe are friends with Tiki and Tracy. Now, Margaret was brought on as Siggy's friend. And then, Siggy lost her damn mind. And those two, that was the war. That was the Hitler season. So that was, that friendship was irreparable. And then Siggy was gone. And so Margaret did get close to Melissa because Melissa wanted Margaret's expertise in starting Envy, her clothing store. So that's how they got close. But yeah, Teresa hates Melissa deep down inside. And so anyone that's a friend of Melissa's, she's going to hate them as well. In fact, they may even get the brunt of her hatred for Melissa because she has to suppress that. They fought and fought and fought. And I think at this point, Teresa feels like she has to kind of leave Melissa alone because it's upsetting her brother. And so maybe she just takes out all that pent-up anger on Melissa's friends. Okay, so everyone is at the airport now. Bill's coming on a later flight, possibly powered by his own wings, but that's unclear at this point. And the second they land in Nashville, Melissa has to put on her cowboy hat. Or she calls it her yeehaw hat. All right, everyone gets into two vans. Margaret says hello to Teresa, but Teresa won't even speak to her, look at her, acknowledge her. She also makes a point to get on the van that Margaret is not on, which is for the best. So we have Margaret and Joe, Melissa and Joe, Tiki and Tracy, and Jackie and Evan. So as they're riding to the house they're staying at, Melissa said, so what state are we in? Guys, at least she knew it was still in the U.S., right? Should we give her credit for that? Margaret chuckles, and Evan just says, Tennessee. Melissa goes, I know we're in Nashville. I just couldn't think of what state it was in. Joe Gorga, he's like, we're so jet-lagged. No, you're not jet-lagged. You're probably on the plane for, 2.5 hours or something? And the time zone is an hour different. So can't really blame this one on jet lag. Okay, so I guess we missed Antonia's Sweet 16 party. It looks like it was filmed, but we're seeing it now in just a flashback. So in the other van, we have Teresa and Louie, Dolores and Frank, and Jennifer. Teresa said, Margaret said hi to me, but she's the one that started all this, talking behind my boyfriend's back. I don't want to talk to her. Everyone in both vans keeps saying, let's just have a good time. We're here on vacation, let's have a good time. Okay, so the house is gorgeous. And it turns out that the realtor, Chris, who is Tracy's friend, also knows Margaret quite well. Margaret says from when she was a regular in the morning circuit that she and Chris also share the same agent. So they're asking for advice for dinner, and Chris tells them, oh, you have to go to this place with a mechanical bull. No, I don't. I don't need to mix being tossed around and thrown off something with drinking. I just feel like that's a bad combination. Okay, so now it's time to pick rooms. Teresa, don't you think that me and Louie should have the master bedroom? Margaret, no, we should pick from a hat. So Dolores goes, I already told Teresa she could have the master, 'cause they're the lovebirds. Yes, but they're in a love bubble, so they could probably do it in any room and be fine. Of course, all the rooms are beautiful. And the guys couldn't care less what room they're in, because all the guys are out in the yard, jumping on the trampoline. Now they're inside because the house has an indoor basketball court. So Teresa and Jackie are checking out Jennifer's room, and they're talking to her. And Teresa asks Jackie, is everything okay? And Jackie's like, yeah, why? Teresa, because you've been quiet and hardly talking to me. You mean at Treescape when you were a raging lunatic? Yeah, nobody wanted to talk to you. So Jackie says, that it's just hard for her because she and Margaret are such close friends. Teresa, listen, you're a smart girl, right? Jackie's like, yeah. Like you claim to be. You say you are, right? And Jackie's like, yeah, I don't claim to be. I am smart. Teresa goes, okay, so you think what's going on with Louie is so black and white? Like, whoever follows that blogger, every time something big happens with us, it will come out. Like, who would bring it out? It was Margaret. So I'm not sure what she's saying here. Does she think Margaret is feeding information to the blogger? Or is she just saying that Margaret's the one that's spreading all the information she heard from the blogger? Not sure what the coinkydink is. Oh, okay, yeah. She thinks Margaret is feeding information to the blogger. But Margaret isn't making stuff up. So she had to have learned those things from somewhere. And wherever that was, why couldn't the blogger find those things out herself? Anyway, Jackie's like, no way. No, you're getting caught up in conspiracy theories. Margaret is not feeding information to a blogger. Jennifer said, I think you should clear the air, Teresa. I don't want to clear the air. And that's kind of the problem, isn't it? I mean, at least she's honest. She wants to believe Margaret is popping her love bubble and she doesn't want to hear anything else. She said she doesn't want to clear the air. She doesn't want to get down to the truth. She likes her conspiracy theory. So now Teresa tells Louie that Margaret's coming at her because of him, and so her guard is up. And Louie's like, that woman pokes holes in everybody's life. First of all, what does that even mean? And secondly, what evidence do you have that Margaret is poking holes in everybody's life? Listen, do I think Margaret is a busybody who is very concerned about everybody else's business? Yes, of course I do. She moves the story along. That's why we love her, people. Louis doesn't like that Margaret is poking holes in his story. The one he tried to tell everybody about a bad ex that he was trying to get away from. And that's why he made the video, so that he could get rid of her. You know, by proposing. And, you know, maybe he's afraid because Margaret isn't as naive as Teresa. You know, if somebody's like running a long con game, people around Teresa who are smart enough to kind of catch on to him, of course, would be his enemy. So anyway, now Jackie tells Margaret what Teresa's theory is. You know, the one that Teresa tried to get Jackie to believe by saying, "You're smart, right?" So now Margaret tells her husband, and she's like, how would I even know stuff about him? Okay, so now everyone is getting ready to go to the Mechanical Bull restaurant, and Bill arrives now. And, okay, I'm just going to say it. I don't hate the cowboy hats on Jennifer and Bill. And when they put them on, they, like, immediately fell into this, like, sexy role play thing. Jennifer's like, howdy, stranger. And Bill goes, there's a new sheriff in town. And Jennifer's like, I don't play by the rules. And I'm like, oh, where is this heading? So now everyone is in the kitchen, ready to go to the restaurant. They're waiting on Teresa and Louie. And Margaret says to Jackie, by the way, I think we're going to have to say something to Teresa tonight. If I were Jackie, I would be like, we? What, do you got a mouse in your pocket? Anyway, Jackie's like, oh, you don't want to, like, just have a nice dinner tonight? Maybe take a night off? And Margaret's like, yeah, of course, but she can't make up stories. That's not okay. All right, so they make it to the restaurant, order food, and now it's time to ride the bull. Melissa goes first. We get the obligatory comments about how she rides Joe or whatever. She's immediately thrown off. And then Frank asks Dolores, are you going to go? And she goes, no, I have no clothes on. She's in a dress. I love Dolores' confessional. She said, I know my place in this world, and it's not on that bull. Agreed. Teresa goes next and gets thrown off, and then Margaret doesn't want to do it. She's in a dress, too. And then Teresa goes, she's boring. Only she kind of says it like Anna Delvey. You're boring. You look Paul. Then, of course, the guys have to turn it into a competition who can stay on longest. They haven't started yet, and already I can tell you my money's on Tiki. I mean, he's the only professional athlete, and yes, it's in football, but I also think that, like, if you get yourself to the level that you can be a professional athlete, I think you're just good at a lot of things. So that's my vote. I'm sticking to that. Okay, Bill lasts 4 seconds. Then Frank goes, he's 6 seconds. Louie is 5 seconds. Joe Gorga lasts 12 seconds on the bull. Tiki Barber, 14 seconds. I rest my case. In Jennifer's confessional, she goes, Tiki winning doesn't surprise me at all. And I quite enjoyed riding him. I did not enjoy riding him. I enjoyed watching him ride the bull. Sorry. I mean, come on. He's not so bad to look at. No, he's not. So back at the table, Frank leans over to Dolores and said, this is nice. Everybody's having fun. Thereby cursing the evening. People start talking about what they're going to do tomorrow. And Melissa has arranged for the ladies to go to a recording studio and record a country song together. Melissa goes, Nashville is the home to some amazing musicians. Side note, how do you know that? I mean, it's true, but how does Melissa know that? She doesn't even know what state she's in. And she thinks she's out west. Teresa, I'm not really into singing, but whatever. So sweet. That's how she was at Treescape. Yeah, I don't really like being outdoors, so I'm not going to do this. Thanks for coming. Anyway, Melissa goes, it might be fun for us. So Margaret jokes and says, we'll be your backup singers. You could be like Diana Ross. Teresa, no, you can go do that singing thing with her. I don't want to go. Tracy whispers to Margaret, what the f***? Then shots come to the table, and Jackie asks Margaret, so how do you know Tracy's friend? And Margaret goes, I know everybody. Teresa, see what I mean? You know everybody, Margaret. I hate to state the obvious, but Louis looks confused right now. You talk to everybody. Yes, you do. And Margaret goes, why? Because you said I spread the rumor to the bloggers about Louis? And Teresa goes, yes. Margaret, I said it? Teresa, yes. And Margaret goes, no. How would I have information on Louis and his life? Teresa, because you talked to people in his past. I'm sure you inserted yourself. Margaret's like, inserted myself into his past? And Teresa's like, yeah, maybe someone from his past contacted you. Louis is still confused, or more confused. It's hard to tell. Margaret goes, why would they contact me? Teresa, you know everybody. Okay, so it's getting more and more heated. And Joe Gorga's like, come on, let's just eat dinner. Teresa says that if it wasn't for Margaret, those rumors wouldn't be out there. You're the one that put the rumors out there. Are you kidding me? And Margaret says, you're a disgusting liar. And then this happened.
Disgusting liar. What are we doing? Let's get my purse. Let's go. And this is the way you left. Disgusting. You. Luckily, you're still not on parole. You whore. Disgusting white trash bitch. Keep lying, Teresa. Let's go. You better stay out of my face.
In Frank's confessional, he said, listen, Margaret didn't come after Teresa. Teresa came after Margaret. Thank you, Frank. So Teresa's kind of led out. I thought she was escorted out of the restaurant, but I think that was maybe just production, moving her to another location. So there's a bar downstairs from where the table is that they were eating. And she goes downstairs with Louis, and Melissa and Joe follow her. As she's going downstairs, she's shouting the whole way, you're white trash. And, that's pretty rich coming from the woman who just cleared the table, knocking over glasses and plates and dishes and breaking stuff. Okay, now for the version of Upstairs Downstairs that PBS passed on. Upstairs, Dolores said, I don't know what happened, but I came with them, so I'm going to leave with them. And Margaret goes, no, you're not. You saw her throw a plate at me, Dolores. If you go with them, I'm going to be upset. Downstairs, Melissa and Joe are trying to get Teresa to stop spewing obscenities at the top of her lungs. Teresa's like, you want to come at me? Then I'm coming for you. She's a bashful one. So here's the thing. Margaret did not come for Teresa tonight. This is yet again, like Treescape, Teresa gearing herself up for this fight that isn't coming. So she taunts and taunts until she gets a reaction. I would love if Margaret and everybody would not fall for that and just remain completely calm, because I think her head would explode. Upstairs, Margaret's telling Dolores, Dolores, you're my close friend. We talk 5 times a day. Do not leave with her. She's disgusting. And then finally Frank says, Dolores, we're the hosts. Frank thinks Teresa's wrong. He doesn't want to be stuck with Louis again. So Dolores says, oh, you're right. We'll leave with you guys. And Margaret goes, thank you, Frank. Listen, I think Dolores wanted to stay. But, she's a little bit afraid of Teresa. And I think that she thinks her duty as a loyal friend is to back her up no matter what, even when she disagrees with her. So I think she thought Teresa is unreasonable. And I would rather deal with these ladies being mad at me because I can probably get them to understand why I did it. I think that's why she thought, I have to go. But, Frank gave her an out, really. I think that's why she so quickly was like, you're right. I'm the host. I need to stay. But, I doubt Teresa's going to see it that way. Downstairs, back with Teresa, still vomiting a string of slurs and obscenities, Melissa goes, stop talking like this. Teresa, I don't like her tone. You come at me, I'm coming back at you 20 times harder. Upstairs, Margaret says, I'm not scared of her. Downstairs, Teresa, she needs to be taught a lesson. I'm going to come up there and beat the fucking crap out of that bitch. I'm just thinking about Louis' scroll. I love your voice. I love your playful nature. Oh, upstairs, Margaret says, she's a thug and an animal. And guess what? It's about to be upstairs, because that thug is on her way up now. She fucked with the wrong girl. Yeah, except she didn't fuck with you. You made up a story in your head without any proof that she was feeding information to a blogger, and that's why everybody knows about Louis' past. Louis, can't you swat her with a newspaper or, spray her with water or something? How else is she going to learn? So Margaret is still a white trash bitch, we're told, as Teresa is ascending the staircase. Oh, well, that didn't really go very far. At the top of the stairs, she's stopped by Louis and Joe Gorga, and then she just heads back down again. So then Jennifer says to Margaret, I have to go down and talk to her. You understand, right? And Margaret's like, I don't care. Go. In her confessional, Jennifer said, I don't want Margaret to think that I condone Teresa's behavior, but she's one of my closest friends, and I have to be there for her, No, I don't know. Why not tell your good friend Teresa that you can't support her when she's violent? How about that? Take a stand. So the Teresa van leaves with Teresa, Louis, Melissa, Joe, and Bill and Jennifer. And inside the van, Teresa still has more vomit to come out. She's a disgusting, vile, thirsty piece of trash. She's sweet, Louis. You got yourself a winner. Louis says, yeah, babe, but why did you have to throw something at her? Teresa, why? Yikes. Because I wanted to just take the whole fucking table and fucking smash it in her fucking face. Does that answer your question, Louis? So that goes nowhere. Melissa feels sorry for Margaret, but she knows that if she didn't leave with Teresa, there would be hell to pay. How about this? How about everybody just stop enabling her terrible behavior? Anyway, the others stay and have dinner while they're kind of assessing the events of the evening. Tracy's mortified. Frank thinks it's unusual for Teresa to go off the handle, to that extent for that situation. And Dolores goes, no, Frank. That will get her to fly off the handle more than anything else. He's her lifeline. Margaret, you can feel any way you want, but just don't express it to her because she's not receiving it well. Yes, she's right, but doesn't anybody, it's kind of driving me nuts, doesn't anyone think it's wrong to have to handle a grown woman like this with kid gloves just so she doesn't snap? Why does she get this special treatment? That's not right. 12 people are adapting their behavior to accommodate the one person that should be adapting her behavior. I don't get it. Side note, I love this confessional look for Dolores. I just think her hair is so pretty. It also looks natural. Back at the house, Teresa's still going on about it, so she wants her and Louis to pack up and go to a hotel and give up that beautiful master bedroom. You know what? Margaret should get it now for having to eat her dinner in a wet dress. Oh, Margaret, this was not the day to wear white. At the restaurant, Margaret said, I hope everything works out for them. I really do. But at the end of the day, if everything was so great, she wouldn't be acting this way. Normal, happy people can hold their composure. To be fair, she is still in training. And I think it's going to take a long time, you know? Louis good, but he's no Caesar Milan. So Dolores said, no, she did not do that tonight. Hold her composure. And she said, and I wish she would have. Also, nobody provoked her. She provoked herself. She literally provoked herself. She told herself a story in her head that Margaret fed information to a blogger so that it would get out, and that the only reason anybody knows anything about Louis' past is because of Margaret Josephs. And she told that story to herself, believed it, and became infuriated. So yeah, she was provoked, but by herself, not Margaret. If Margaret provoked her, I didn't see it. Was it when she said, I'll be your backup singer, Melissa? Because that seemed to irritate Teresa. But Margaret did not even address Teresa until Teresa started coming at her. So Margaret gets a text now, and it's from Melissa saying that Teresa and Louis moved to a hotel. Then we check back with the people at the house, and everybody there is very stressed out. Teresa has changed into PJs for the van ride to the hotel, which I thought was an interesting choice. I mean, she's going to check into the hotel in her pajamas? Why? Also, isn't it like 8:30 or something? The others are just eating dinner now. And that is where we end this episode. Welcome to Nashville. I bet Nashville's so happy they are hosting the Housewives. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you liked it, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you next time for the next recap of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Bye.